Hey everyone, Bren here. Today is the 1st of December, which in Australia is the first day of summer, and I'm telling you it's hot and humid out. Some of the plants are struggling in these type of weather conditions, like my zucchinis. I'm going to show you the problems on those plants, plus how I plan on rectifying them and making them better. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. Then we're going to check out some other edibles that are growing here in my garden. Plus I'm going to show you a new large patch which I'm planning on planting out very soon in the next few weeks. We'll look at the cucumbers, I put them in. But first, very exciting news about Bren's blooms. Let me show you now. What you're looking at here are the first few bunches of flowers which I created for Bren's Blooms, my small business, growing and selling cut flowers from my garden. Very generously, the local garden centre called Tarmore Garden Centre allows me to sell my flowers there, and what you've seen here is a mix mostly of flowers I've grown, but I do have to say that I had to purchase a few just to bulk out the arrangements bouquets this week. This is something I don't usually do. I normally, all the flowers I sell are the ones I've grown in my garden, but you know, I wanted to get the plants in the garden centre and it just meant that I had to buy a few more this week. What you're looking at here are some lilies. Oh my goodness, I bought loads of mixed pack lilies and most of them are red so far. Hopefully they're just the ones to open first. I did buy them. I think that's a wax flower. And here's another lily. I did have one white one, so I popped it in with the sunflowers, the feverfew. Oh, and this is gorgeous. They're fennel flowers. You can actually use a lot of flowers from vegetables, like that's a carrot flower, and then next up I have some flowers from the rainbow chard. See them there? I got this idea from a lovely lady called Sam. I'll put her link up here, or her Instagram page up here. She sells seeds and she uses these in her arrangements. I think they look so whimsical, don't they? So pretty. Who would have thought you can use rainbow chard flowers in arrangements? But they work, they look great, and I tested one out actually. I had it in a vase for a week and it didn't go limp or anything like that. This one's very pretty. It's kind of lots of pinks. I've got some snapdragons, that's the Verbena bonariensis. There's lovely little dainty white flowers are the feverfew. Oh, and this, oh my goodness, it's a I've forgotten there for a second. Gladiolus. It was just starting to open, so I picked it and popped it into this bunch. Yeah, so 4 bunches of flowers. I sell them for $35 each. The garden centre does get a slight amount from each bunch, but oh, they're just so good to me. I cannot believe they let me sell them. And they get put up right by the counter so everyone gets to see them. Now, the red one there, I thought that was kind of festive. It's not really my style. Like, I wouldn't personally probably pick out that bunch to purchase. But I know it's got the whites and the reds, and when it comes to arranging flowers to sell, it's not always about what I like, it's what I think other people will like too, and I want to have a bit of variety. So yeah, that's it. We'll see how they go. I always give you an update every week, so next Friday I'll let you know how they went, and yeah, hopefully some people will buy them. Cross my fingers. There's been big changes over here in this part of the garden, just behind this salvia patch on the other side of the driveway. This section has been cleared out. So I had shown you this spot a couple of months ago. It was extremely overgrown, and back then I had mentioned that I had plans to clear it out and turn it into perhaps a native flower garden, as well as growing some edible crops. But now I have decided to do something different with it. I'll tell you what that is in a second, but I did want to mention that I can't take any credit for getting this garden bed to this condition. I was feeling so overwhelmed with this area that I ended up getting someone in to help me clear it out, and I'm really delighted with how it has turned out so far, and I'm so excited to share my plans with you. I'm going to have to put the native garden plants on hold because I'm short of space at the moment due to our renovations, and I've got lots of plants that have to go into the ground and I've got nowhere to put them besides that bed at the moment. Like here, for example, I still have dahlias left over, which were quite expensive to purchase, and I'm thinking I'll just do a row of dahlias in there. So I have this bunch, I have some more inside the house, and then I have some other plants which are just growing in the area where the renovations are happening. I thought I dug up all the tubers, but they're just popping up through the soil. Somehow they survived the earthworks, and I want to dig them up and pop them into that new garden bed too. And then over here I also have all of these tomato plants which I haven't done anything with. I had mentioned I was going to pot some up, but I never got around to it, and they are just begging to be planted out into the garden. Like, look at that. I think it's time I put these in the ground. So I'm going to do 1 or 2 rows of tomatoes at the back, and then in the front section I'll do probably a couple of rows of dahlias. And although it's not going to look amazing like the way I had it visioned, with lots of different colours and, you know, hopefully native wildlife coming into that spot, it is something that's just going to be practical this year, and I do want to make the most out of all of these tomato plants. I've got some really nice varieties in here which I've shown you before, like this one for example. I had mentioned that I want to grow lots of because it makes for a really nice tomato sauce. I want to do that this year. I want to do a bit of preservation, and then I have some chili plants here too that want to pop in. So yeah, I'm gonna just make room for these, because if I don't, they're just gonna end up all dying on me. Where else am I gonna put them? I know I've shown you this container garden for the last couple of weeks, but I really feel like I need to show it to you every week because everything is growing so rapidly. Like, look at this, the eggplant. It's got a flower on it. Like, that's got massive since last Friday, surely, hasn't it? And then over here, this is the capsicum plant. Wait until you see this. That wasn't there last week, was it? Maybe it was tiny, but look how much it's grown. So exciting. Now, I will soon have to stake up this plant for support, and as well as that probably the eggplants too, because the fruit on them gets so large that if I didn't have something holding it up, the weight of the fruit could snap the branches and then damage the plant. So that's something I'll need to do by the looks of it pretty soon. The cucumber plant had a flower open, but now it's closed. Hopefully it got pollinated. I'll just remove this disease looking leaf. Speaking of cucumber plants, let's go and check out the new cucumber patch. I got this finished during the week, so I put down the layer of cardboard. On top of that I put some mushroom compost, then lots of sugarcane mulch, and I popped in the cucumber plants. Now what I did was I did remove any foliage that was looking a bit icky, like that one's not even looking great, so I chucked that away. As long as there's a little bit of foliage on it, it'll be able to photosynthesize and it should be all right. So yeah, I ended up deciding to use the plants that I had. I know many of you and some other people I spoke to said that they've used plants that weren't looking the best and they bounced back, so I'm hoping, I'll remove this one too, I'm hoping these will do well. And we got so much rain during the week, I think that's really helped settle them in. Crossing your fingers, they all survive. Over here with the zucchinis, there's fruit set. This one's the Lebanese zucchini, and then over on the other one, look at that, this is the golden zucchini. Lots of flowers on it too. I saw pollinators in there during the week. There's another one on the way too. Looking at these two now, I realise I should have planted them a bit further apart, because they are going to get much larger than this, and they're already touching leaves and overlapping. It's really important with zucchini plants to give them enough space, in my experience, because they need that airflow, especially in our weather where it can get quite humid, and zucchini plants can become very susceptible to powdery mildew. Unfortunately, I can already start to see what I believe is powdery mildew on some of the foliage. So this is actually a fungal disease, and you notice it, to me it's almost like you have someone sprinkled talcum powder on top of the leaves. Now this is something that I don't usually see when the plants are so young. It's usually towards the end of the plant's life, after they've produced lots of zucchinis, that I begin to see the powdery mildew, but it's on some of the leaves now. What I may do is just remove some of the foliage that has it on quite bad, and then with the rest of the plant I'm going to spray it with some milk, which I have tried before and it works well. And I'm also hoping that I get those beneficial bugs on the plant that love to eat the powdery mildew, which I often get here in the garden, and they may help, you know, get this under control, but it is very difficult to get rid of. So I don't know, I might have to plant some more, because I don't know how long these ones are going to last for. I feel like they're going to die off in the next month, probably 2 months time. I also sowed some more zinnia seeds, so 3 different colors. They're all Bennery's Giant. So I've got the purple, over here is the, oh no, this isn't Bennery's Giant, the canary yellow, and then this one I believe is the pink. I lost the tag on that one. But how many days ago did I do this? Maybe 2 days ago, and I've already spotted some seeds germinating, like there, and one over here. Ooh, I can't find it now. Oh yeah, there it is. I think over the weekend I'm going to sow some more cut flower seeds, like some more zinnias, status, cosmos. I might even take a few feverfew cuttings. And I was just looking at that tomato plant. I reckon I need to give it a bit of a prune. It's looking quite bushy, especially considering it's grown in a container. I'd like to keep it a bit more under control than the way it's going to turn out, I reckon. Anyway, I better head off for now. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great week ahead, everyone, and I'll see you again next Friday.